government.
That's the religious government, right? The religious government.
Whether or not it was morally, correct, that it's relative, right? Right is relative. Just like sometimes truth can be relative, which is why.
Nacho, say it with me, Nacho. Slavery is wrong. Repeat after me. Slavery is wrong. Period.
Again, we're not talking about my personal perspective, right? If we were talking about Nacho's perspective, we'd be in those houses. But we're talking.
Nah, this is like a slam dunk, man. I mean,
we're talking about religion.
It's a slam dunk.
We're talking about religion and why? Because maybe doesn't fill pews, right? That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about why they throw the blanket of belief and the power of faith, mustard seed, and they encourage people and they dig down into the depths of their psyche and they find their deepest pain, deepest sorrow, and they cater to it, right? And they give them a balm or a serum or a medicine that goes inside and heals them from places that they can't even see, right? That's why those people, they get up there and they preach to you and they proselytize and they
What's going on right now? What is this all about?
I'm telling you.
Doing slavery apologetics. That's what's going on.
Y'all just be saying shit. Y'all just be in here saying shit because you feel some way about God or you feel some kind of way about the Bible.
Hey, Nacho. Just 1 second. Nacho, just 1 second.
What they're talking about.
Is that you? Is that you right now? Is that you who knows what you're talking about? I'm just asking. No, you just said.
With regard to what I'm saying, absolutely, I know.
Okay, so what's your premise? In like a couple sentences, what are you saying?
I'm saying that back to what the brother said. We need the religion, whether or not it's truthful or not. You need it because not everybody can self-govern it. Most of these people don't have a moral compass.
Couple questions. All right. Okay. A couple questions. You've done your work, your historical, research around countries who did base their governments on religion and those who did not. Correct?
I know enough.
Hello.
What have you noticed?
You're asking me.
Can I speak on behalf of?
You're asking me.
1 second, Bassett. Yes, you definitely can. Trends?
A sort of what did I notice? Right? Such as patterns.
No. It doesn't have to be patterns. It doesn't have to be patterns. Okay. Just tell me about one. Just talk about something.
Well,
doesn't have to be trends.
I think you're being very indirect and I don't even really understand the question.
Then say that, but don't tell me what I'm doing. Just say you don't understand the question. That's different. I don't know what you're talking. I just know what you're talking about. Because I think selectively people have done what you're saying, right? We can say that a government legalized slavery, right? But then legalize wearing two mixed garments of two different fabrics, or whatever they talk about in the Bible. We selectively pick some things that would benefit. I don't want to say us because I'm not one of the us, right? Because I'm pretty read about where human rights fell apart, right? When it comes to slavery or chattel slavery, I think I'm gonna stick to chattel slavery only, and why it was designed. Are you saying, I want to be clear, you're saying it definitely was legal. Nothing moral, nothing religious, right? It was strictly legal.
Yeah, isolated. We're not talking about the moral or religious aspect. We're talking about the legality. And yes, it was legal.
Okay, and are you saying it was based on religion? Are you saying no, it was not?
Was what based on religion?
That's why I focused just on chattel slavery. Was it something that was
religion based on slavery, or was slavery based on religion?
Okay, one more time. Chattel slavery. Are you saying it was a legal invention or was it a religious invention?
I don't think we're talking about the invention. We're talking about the fact of it.
Yes, of it existing. I'm asking, yes.
By the way, you brought slavery into this. I had nothing to do with this premise.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you were. I know. I am. Nacho, I am. We don't have to do that right now. I'm the one talking about it. I'm asking a question. All right, we can move on. Thanks. Bassett. Go ahead, Bassett.
Corey, are you all fresh and clean now?
I was until something happened. I gotta go back to back into the shower. But go ahead, Aisha, JCC. Okay.
I guess they don't want to talk. Oof, man, I just don't get it. Like, why can't you just say slavery is wrong? Like, I don't get it.
That part too.
Even myself, I'm not in the States. That's one thing.
How are you, sir?
When they had the slavery.
Oh, wait, you going back to slavery? But I can't hear you. Can you speak a little bit?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if Nasser is from the American South, where slavery was like when they were fighting for slavery.
No, no.
I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, me either. But
my whole thing was like the reason I brought up slavery too. Not just like it's just like, well, I think it's kind of bad if we like kind of doing our own things. We should have like a central religious authority. And then she brought up like, well, our government's crazy. I pointed out they're actually Christian nationalists. That's why they're crazy. Then I pointed out like the historical factor. You know, it's just a fact that like for thousands of years, you know, and we had slavery and it was permitted by God. Okay, it was permitted. It wasn't. Yeah, so like that, I mean, and we know that that's wrong. We know that that's wrong. It doesn't matter what your book says. We know that that's wrong. We can just say that definitively. It doesn't matter what your ethic or your moral is. Everybody agrees that slavery is wrong. If you want to like do some apologetics for slavery, I mean, you're just being absurd. You know, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not doing any apologetics. I didn't even bring it up. One of you brought it into the conversation, derailed my whole point, trying to bring up slavery, trying to prove that the American government and governments in general have made mistakes by working in conjunction with the religion, because obviously the religion has made mistakes. And then you try to jump to the moral.
That's true. That's true.
Right, and then you try to jump to my personal moral overview, which I never interjected in this discussion, never once. And now you're making assumptions and presumptions.
That's why he asked.
Which I'm telling you, I am not including in this conversation because we're not talking about me.
Then say no. Just don't do it. But to make that, just whatever. Just be adult. Just say nope. I don't want to talk. Move on. Cool.
Now you're.
That's one of the things like.
Facetious. And I just.
I'm not. There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing funny about that.
Try to look at it from my point of view. I'm not a religious person. I think that I think it's kind of a mixed bag. Religion is kind of like, yeah, it's just a mixed bag. It's mixed in the same sense that like, you know, human beings can be all different kind of things. And the things that we get out of religion are just the things that we get out of humanity. All the morals and the ethics that we get, the good things we get out of religion come from human beings, and as well as all the bad things that are in religion also come from human beings. So if you understand religion in this way, then you know, then I think everything starts to make sense. And a lot of the stuff that we argue against is like, you know, really terrible stuff, like the religious fundamentalists. You know, they want to. Like somebody on here once said, like, you know, he thinks that the reason he's a religious guy, he thinks that the reason the atheists exist is because to prevent the fundamentalists from destroying the planet. Okay, and he's onto something there. So I don't know, maybe you can check it out for more.
I'm also concerned about how religion, like if we were, I know she did say this, so this is separate from you, Nacho, because I know I can't do that. In general, I've heard people say something like, hey, if we were a Christian nation, we wouldn't have abortion. I'm confused by that because God killed kids consistently in the Bible. So I'm just like, I don't know how those two things relate to me and how we can use some moral ground of Christianity to say that abortion wouldn't be, is wrong. I'm confused.
Because,
oh, yeah.
Right, and I was drawn on the Catholic concept of they basically don't even use contraception, right? It's basically and because the whole concept obviously is going to multiply. So, I mean, you making a comparison, between God killing children, and feticide, from a mother. I mean, I don't know, it's a stretch, but I'm willing to walk with you.
Yeah, I don't think it's a stretch because are we concerned really about children's lives? Because once they're born, what happens?
No.
Because now we want to say that those same Christians now don't want to do anything to ensure those kids survive.
That's right.
Yeah, they're
So what are we
like
really talking about? What are we really talking about?
pre-K child,
They're
I guess
talking
pre-K
out of their
child care,
bubble.
kicking them off of Medicare.
That's what's going on.
No school lunches. Fuck all them. But the
They
more
want to
interesting
feed
thing,
the kids.
the more interesting thing about this is like, well, I was gonna say this like real fast. If the idea is like the United States is a Christian nation, if that's the case, then I don't know if you guys are aware, but Christians being against abortion and gay marriage and stuff like this, that's like a relatively recent development in like the 60s and 70s. That has not always been the case in the United States, so that's good.
True.
Also, pro-lifers support capital punishment, so little contradiction there.
Doesn't make sense.
Also, God issues abortions when women are unfaithful.
Sure does. Get my point? See, it's all there. It's all there. What are we talking about right now?
I would just think, if anything, if you were to be fair and honest as a Christian, you would just say God doesn't really hold a position either way on abortion.
Yep.
That's what I would just say, if you were to be honest, but they don't.
Unless it serves his
You're in the
purpose, right?
Matrix. They're not bad here. Yeah, I'm reminded of this thing that Sam Harris said Sam Harris said this thing in a debate with Greg. He said God, like he get the scope and the murder and the sheer depth and breadth of all the killing that God has done throughout history I think he said it would embarrass the most ambitious psychopath. Just the sheer amount of blood and guts and destruction. I mean, there's so many stories in the Bible where God's just like killing children, sending out people to genocide, other people kill, like even like the cattle and the sheep and the dogs and all that shit. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is why we can't have religion as a form of government.
Yeah. But
my understanding is that abortion is a sin unless it's going to harm the mother, and she's going to die from childbirth, right?
A sin? Sin?
Yeah, it's a sin, man.
Wait, no. Well, no, I'm asking, if you say it's a sin, that's a religious thing. So what are you pointing to? What religious text says that?
Yeah, as far as one of the Islamic texts, so that we say that.
Okay, so now we're talking about the Islamic God. So the Islamic God says that, hey, it's a sin unless it harms the woman.
That she's going to die.
Right.
So she's going to die. She's going to give birth to the child. So she has the option of either it's better that she becomes a martyr, but not every woman can do that. So.
Right, so that's what it says about. Okay, so okay. I want to clarify for everybody in the room. Does it say have the abortion if it harms the woman, or she should become the martyr for the child's life?
Can you repeat that?
I'm trying to clarify what you said. So maybe I'm wrong. I thought you said, hey, it's a sin according to the Quran, right? To abort unless it harms the woman.
I also have a
But then-
specific contextual.
Okay, hold on one second, Drea. Hold on, I'm gonna get him to clarify this point first. Sorry. I just want to make sure you clarify first, and then you go next. Sorry, go ahead.
Unless it's going to kill the mother, she's going to die from the childbirth.
I get that part, but then you brought up her being a martyr. Does it say anything about her being a martyr?
We have to define what
Yeah,
spontaneous means here.
Okay, but hold on. Just this part about what the Quran says.
I don't think it's the Quran.
Is it a hadith?
Hadith, yeah.
It's a hadith, so it's not the Quran. All right.
A woman who passes away from childbirth is martyr.
Right. So which one is honored more? That, hey, I know my child is going to harm me, and I want to give birth to it, and if I do that, is that honored more than me having an abortion because it will harm me?
And also, like, there's kind of certain. The reason I said I want to ask a contextual question is because if you get pregnant, and the man that gets you pregnant knows he got you pregnant, but he knows that he doesn't want to have that baby with you, and goes about ways for you to not have that baby even without your consent, i.e., putting abortion pills in your vagina while you're asleep, or lacing your drink with something. So I get to be a martyr for the rest of my life because you're a predator.
Yeah, but Dre, is that Islamic or is that something else? I just want to make sure I stick with the Islamic claim first.
Well, I'm just asking in what context if that would make somebody a martyr, or if that person how would that relate to Islamic context?
Now, if you're a married couple, obviously you're going to try to get children so that you're both intent on children. Then you find out once she's pregnant, it's serious pregnant, that the doctors say that she will not pass away. She takes this child. So, she gives birth to this child. So then she has the choice, either abort it or, go all the way and to heaven.
Okay. But just my last point, I'll let it go. Is there an honorable position in Islam, according to the Hadith?
Yeah, the honorable position is to become a martyr.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm sorry. So in other words, the child's life is more important.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you guys get some good conclusions together?
I can't say his life is more important, but it's I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, because
It's real simple.
Mother
right? If it's more,
can have more kids. A mother can have more kids. Right? If it's a boy, like, what are we gonna do?
yeah, but just whether or not it's the sex of the child, right? Regardless of it's it's more honorable for them to die for the birth of a the newborn. That's exactly what it means. Can't avoid that.
Sorry, JC. I don't know if anybody else. You were in the Matrix for me. I don't know what you said. Is it just me, or can people hear him?
He's kind of in the Matrix. I thought that was you, Corey, that was in the Matrix, but...
JC, one more time. JC.
I understood him, bro. I understood.
Maybe he's like trying to figure it out. Treya, go ahead. You're in the room. What's up?
My bad. I was on a keyboard and I was sitting next to a fan. Well, I was just asking about if so, and I don't know if I should be asking the question about how it has anything to do with religion, but I'm just saying so when somebody makes you have a spontaneous abortion, i.e. a miscarriage, which is something that can be triggered by a man and things that he does when he knows that a woman is pregnant without her knowledge, right? So basically making somebody get an abortion without their consent. So that's not rapey as fuck to be like, oh, you're a martyr, you're a martyr, you're a martyr. I'm sorry, this is very weird.
There's no argument for me.
Yeah, but I would love to participate in a room where we actually do discuss the moral side of it, right? I'm not shying away from that. I just like to isolate my talking points because then I'm all over the place,
Gotcha.
My own chain of thought because now I'm interjecting how I feel. But when I report things that I researched or encountered or read, right, I'm not reporting on how I felt about it. I'm just reporting that this is what I read about.
Got it.
Saying? So if you are interested in that part, I think that would be great because that's what she talked about. She talked about the moral aspect. Like, hey, rapey and really weird, right? But again, that is how we in our modern brain are reviewing these religious concepts. And I've seen you over in PhDs in this, right?
Yeah. Wait, me? Yeah. Yes, you have.
Like me? Yeah, okay.
Me?
I thought that was good. Yeah, right.
So Nacho.
These are my favorite discussions. I prefer to be on the intellectual side, but like you, I have to get my little.
Not by Nacho.
Wait, Elliot, wait, earlier. Wait, Elliot. She just set a boundary though, and I like respect your boundaries, right? She said she doesn't. She wants.
No, this is. We don't have to ask her.
No, but true. Bullshit right I hear you, but you can't make her.
Earlier, we were talking about the slavery. No, we were talking about the slavery thing earlier for a bit. She's like, no, I don't want to talk about the moral aspect of that. Okay, and now she turned around saying the exact opposite. I do want to talk about the moral aspect of that. Okay, that's the shit that.
Well, I heard her say something different. When you asked her a question about her own personal beliefs, she didn't know what to answer that question. That's her boundary for that, right? And I think it's fruitless to make someone do that because we'll be going back and forth forever, right? But for me, the stronger point would be, right, to offer, some arguments around it, right, based on whatever we want to consider as facts or whatever. That's just stronger to me. I get what you're saying, Elliot, but I don't know how to. Why would?
It's. I'm not like accusing her of anything. I'm just saying, like. Shouldn't it be like super easy to say like, okay, yeah, like helping the old lady across the street is a good thing. It doesn't fucking matter whether you're atheist or theist or you're Christian or not Christian or Muslim, whatever. It's just a good thing. Period. End of fucking story. And we can do the same thing for slavery. Slavery bad.
Slavery is wrong. It was absolutely atrocious. We can really get into that if you want. If that is discussion, that's all I'm saying.
But the question is, why is it a good thing? Why is it a bad thing based off of whatever worldview you adopt? How do you substantiate it being a good or a bad thing?
There you go.
True, but I don't think. But Nacho wasn't making a statement about. She was saying, hey, I ascribe to this. I don't think she said that. She was talking. At least I didn't hear that from you, Nacho. Unless you want to come off the mic and tell me. I didn't hear you say that. She was generally talking about some historical things that she had looked up, and then the question was about how she felt about abortion. I didn't hear her say she ascribed to it. Unless I'm wrong, Nacho.
No, absolutely not. Not Kanye West. I don't think slavery was a choice. Don't string me up on that cross. That's not my burden to bear. Right? What if I talk about that? I'm just saying that's fine. Yeah, slavery's bad, Mom.
So why is slavery bad?
Why? Obviously because it hurt people, they animalize people, they chatelize people, they put people on the market, they separate them from their families, it created an entire social injustice that cascaded for generations. Not to mention here in America, they actually work people free of charge. Now these people may or may not have already been on the land. And if they were on the land, then they stole them, then would work for free, right? In the event that they did actually come from transatlantic slave trade, they were either kidnapped or sold by Africans. Had to take this horrible ride over here. Come on, the list goes on and on.
So, but what's inherently bad about that? But that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why, what makes that bad? Like,
it's inhumane, darling.
It's inhumane. Okay.
It's on the human conscience that conscience tells you, hold on, this is harming other human beings. And you feel the sense inside it's evil.
Okay, so bugs harm human beings. Is that evil?
Bugs do what? Sorry.
They harm human beings. Is that evil?
Yes, they're devils. They're of Satan. Bugs are of Satan. I don't know where you live.
But for serious purposes though, but you see where when you say something is bad, a bad thing, where it kind of falls on his face, like, okay, is that applied to all things that harm humans?
Well, that's a category error, though. We're not insects, right? So I don't think we categorize ourselves that way. If we were like, if a mosquito was to enslave a what's another insect, a flea. But the category error though. Stick with it though, because
humans. Okay, so
yeah.
So then let's go with this. In abolishing slavery, we had people taking away people's ways of life, right? So that would be the argument. Like that was considered bad too because it was harming human beings. So how would
And
you?
in the abolition, you're saying the abolition of slavery because these people have been accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And in certain ways, they weren't, as we would call it in corporate, cross-trained into taking care of themselves.
Stat for Whitey. That's your argument last slide.
That's not, hold on. It wasn't just white people that were enslaving people, right? So like, you got it. Africans were enslaving Africans, right?
Landslide, category error again. Because no one's. Yeah, but slavery existed. We know that. What about chattel slavery, though?
Yeah, but hold on. This is what I'm saying. When you go to Nigeria, you go to Igbo land, a little war was formed over between Igbo tribes and the English over them being able to continue to sell their own people into slavery.
Okay.
Right? And I'm from that tribe, right? So what I'm saying is that that's a specific situation where we're seeing harm being done to people that have a specific lifestyle and a specific way of living. And if we're saying that harming humans is bad, how do you get around the subjectivity of one group being harmed versus the other group being harmed? That's what I'm trying to put down on.
You don't.
So it's just all subjective. So we just respect everybody's harm, or we just select whatever.
Whoa! No, I didn't say that. Wait, I think you don't. I don't know if you know what I meant by you don't. Right? Okay, you don't. If you ask me about slavery, it's just a right. Like you don't have a right to own someone else. I'm done.
You don't have the right to own. So who sets up that like authority? Like where do you derive that authority from, or that understanding from?
Wait, which part about owning someone else?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way in my brain how I settle it is this: can I own you?
Can you own me?
Yes.
It is possible. Yes.
Should I own you?
Now, based off of my world belief. Okay, so hold on. Let me go back. What is your world belief to where you don't have a definitive answer to those questions? My world belief is that no and no. You can't own me and you shouldn't own me. That's my world.
And what is that belief?
It's Christianity.
But Christianity says you can. Because even Jesus tells the slaves to submit to their master.
Right, but what I'm saying is in regards to those are people who are already owned, right? So we're not talking about free people. That's the first thing. The second thing, we go to the intention of man. We see that slavery was never a part of it. That came after the fall of man.
Hold on, you threw that little nugget you threw in there. They were already owned. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So chattel slavery, meaning?
I was being cheap.
Okay, yeah.
I appreciate the generosity there. So in the intention of humanity and Christianity was not slavery, right? It was that man was supposed to be respected as an image of God, right? And so every man had the right to have certain things granted to them by God. Now, through the fall of man, right, that we see in Genesis, we see that sin enters into the world. And so we get all of these different outcomes that we see are out of alignment with God's initial premise for humanity. But that's my world.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
So that's why.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, I just want to get to the history of slavery. What, when did it begin? Because slavery was not always around.
I mean, I don't know when it began, but it began a long time ago, for sure.
Right, about 11,000 years ago, right? And its purpose was, right, when humans invented agriculture, right? And then we started to settle, because I don't think nomadic people had slaves, right? But when we settled, and we got these permanent cities, what else we got? There's when you get these permanent cities, right, you got people who, it grows, you need food, and someone has to do the labor, all right? Okay. So you have this huge amount of food being produced, and all these, who's gonna harvest it, who's gonna do all these things, right? Who do you think those people who are in charge decided to use to do all the work?
Yeah, people.
No, but no. What kind of people? It's about the kinds of people. Not everybody was a slave.
Either people have been conquered by war.
Good.
People that probably owed a debt of some sort.
Absolutely. And the last one?
Maybe children at some point.
Well, not children. Not first.
Maybe the Oh, criminals?
Yeah, those who broke rules, right? Same. Yeah, people who broke rules, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Do you think it was ethical at that time? Like, so if like, is it, like, if we could take us all back to that time and we were watching this, would you be okay with the guy next door you're fighting, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe harming you? You beat them, right? You incorporate them into your society and they do the work for you. Would you see that as kind of bad? I mean, just from my first glance.
So I would see that as a useful ill in a world of sin. Yes.
So the answer is yes. You like that's okay to you.
A caveat, because if I'm going off of my worldview, then that was never the
No, don't take your worldview. I wanted to create that worldview where we were. No, I know you have a worldview. You told me before we started. I took you back to that time. That's what I'm asking you. So
You took me back to what time?
11,000 years ago. That's the whole story I gave. Don't come back now to your worldview. Okay.
No, I've been in my worldview. You asked me 2 questions. I said in my worldview would be no and no.
Then I made a shift. I know. I want you to come. I get it. I'm asking you to go back.
So you want me to speak as if I'm you or somebody different than I am.
I started the premise with that whole story. We all would go back. That's what I said. Remember, we all would go back. Yes. All right. So I have my worldview too.
11,000 years ago, if I had an understanding of the same understanding I have now, which we know people have had, that all men are created in the image of God and should be respected as such, then it would still be a no and no.
See, but that's not true. That wasn't true at that time. So you bring your worldview into it.
So you're saying slavery was everywhere?
I didn't. You're taking me. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want people to do that. I created the premise. But you stop. Wait, stop for a second. I created the story. You added things to it. I did not. That's not even true. You say you didn't even know where it came from. But now you're telling me you do know that those people made that. You can't do that. The answer is no. The Neolithic people did not. They did not.
So you're saying that Neolithic people, every Neolithic population had slaves. Is that what you're saying? Every single one.
I don't know where that's coming from. No, I didn't say that.
Okay, so then why did some have slaves
I
and
don't-
some not have slaves?
I don't. That's not you. Okay, so we're not doing my story. Let's switch the whole story then.
No,
Fuck it.
no,
I don't want to talk. You.
But then, of
Guys,
course, he has some controversial position. Sorry, Emmanuel.
Have you guys ever heard about the theology of liberation in the Catholic Church in Latin America?
You don't know.
Where you lied and say, and then he comes into the room. That was the best part, Nargis. He comes into the room that I'm in and says, oh, I didn't kick you.
He's got a child. He just said no. Oh, okay. He's just trolling. Like how you troll with everyone and lie all the time. Like
No, I'm not lying.
okay.
But no, they don't lie to me. Where does it say Jesus is God? That's not a lie? That's not a lie? Or it doesn't say he's God? Doesn't say he's God anywhere.
Darth, why did you reincarnate? Why did you incarnate?
Doesn't say he's God.
That's the form of Megatron.
Like, they come in here all the time and they say Jesus never said he was God. But yet, Muhammad can never say the things
Oh my
that
God,
he
Muhammad
can never say as a prophet the things that Jesus said in the New Testament.
I have never.
Because they would be shirk.
I don't think I've ever met anyone.
That means he's claiming to be equal with God.
You can't stop taking his name. You're obsessed with Muhammad. You're obsessed with that name. You know there's something in there. And I don't know what you're thinking, what it
It's
is.
so bad.
But you can't stop. You're obsessed. You know there's some truth in that. You know it. Or you're just very insecure of your metaphysics, which is truly sometimes pathetic. Just be honest, Barth. Like, I don't want to be mean on you.
I mean, I'm the only one, really. Like, there's people like Steph.
Who's
That-
Steph?
Steph, the other girl that's in the other room. She won't even talk to Muslims.
Yeah, I like her.
She won't speak to Muslims at all.
What?
Because of the blasphemy that they do. And they ask these questions and it drives her
Yeah.
insane. She absolutely has nothing in her heart to speak to them at all. Right? I find it within my heart to say, I like how zealous they are, but I really feel bad. I really think they're going
They
down the
are,
wrong
right?
path.
They are like the Salafis you're talking about, right? The 1% of the Muslims.
Any Muslim.
any Muslim, including Charlie, who was a Shia.
Yeah. I'd say they
You're a
all
hateful
need.
motherfucker.
They all need. No.
You're a hateful
No, wait.
motherfucker.
What did you say about all? I didn't say all.
Including the mystics in Islam, including the Sufis, all that, including all of them, you have hate in your heart. Just saying.
I don't have
All
hate.
of them are the same.
I think they're misled. I truly think they're misled.
Arrogance.
I truly feel that in my heart, they will find Jesus eventually.
Because Jesus cannot manifest in any other language, any other form, any other geography. It has to be Megatron's Jesus.
Not under that powerful delusion of the Quran.
Bro, you have too much hate. Quran is just another reminder.
How would it be hate?
People are, you hate it so much, people are going to read it and say, wow, this is not bad at all. What was Megatron thinking? They're going to think you're a retard. This is a great book of morality. Wow, it's not bad. Yeah, let me read the Old Testament. Good Lord. Rape, shaving heads off, beating children, freaking genocides. You kidding me?
Any man that raped, not killed.
Petty God of the ancient times.
Any man that raped got killed. I can show you every single instance.
Because you've been there and you've seen it all. You're so attached. You worship a book. You don't worship God. You're worshiping a book.
At least I don't make up what God is.
Yeah, you're better, bro.
I mean,
you're better than all the Muslims in the world.
Remember the other day you were having a conversation about stuff. You can't even relate back to the book.
Will get innocent people killed. And that
no, they get themselves killed.
No. You are spreading phobia about a people because you don't even talk in terms of academic verses or references. You talk in terms of people, the Muslim people. One innocent family where their children will walk out. He's just trying to make ends meet. She loves her children. They'll get shot. That karmic burden is on you.
Wait, where are they getting shot? They're not getting shot in New York.
On you. Just like how...
They live in New York. They're not getting shot.
Just like how Tuma... In any part of the world.
These people that are here, every woman has a carriage pushing a... Every woman has a child. And they feel safe. What are you talking about?
He expresses his hate for Islam, which he already does. Tomorrow, in 2 weeks, he's out of that ward. He's going to first look for a gun. And that's on you. Shame on you.
There's Muslims that live in New York.
Shame on you for not loving the human family.
And they never have an issue.
Shame on you for never understanding Jesus. Jesus loved the human.
They actually come here and they're given love when they come here. They're given help and they want to work and they work. Right? And they make it work. And their children go to college. They prosper.
Shame on you.
What are you talking about? When did I ever
for speaking of God, but
prosper.
never loving his creation? Shame on you for speaking constantly of a God and propagating a fantastical fantasy of a God, but never loving his creation.
It's a sad thing. A sad thing. I mean, I wish the best for them. When they come here, I got nothing but love for them. Honestly do. I got nothing but love for Muslims. Every day I try to talk to these people. But every day they come into my room or they come into a space that I'm in, they just do blasphemy every single time. They're the ones spreading the hate, not me, man. I got love.
But it sounds like you're confused. You just said you hated them. Now you're saying...
No. I never said I hated them. You guys are spreading this I hate Muslims. I never said I hate Muslims.
The Quran constantly talks about be good to the Christian. Never debate with the Christian. They are your brothers, the Christians and Jews. Constantly.
When does it mention Muslims in the Bible?
The Christian and the Jew. You, on the other hand, out of your ego, because a model came, sophisticated, where it demoted this man God of yours to merely a great prophet.
You see how disrespectful you're being?
No, but he's good to me.
You didn't like it.
What she says?
He's good to me. He's good to me.
You say these things like man God, and what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for me to shit talk you.
It doesn't sound good. What is it but a man God? There's nothing wrong
We don't
with
believe.
it. It's
We
just
don't.
a
We
different
don't worship
model
a
of
man.
God.
But we don't worship a man.
I know
we
you don't
worship
worship a
God.
man, but the form.
We don't
was
worship a
man.
man.
Bro, I know the whole philosophy.
We don't worship a
I'm just
man.
one better than you.
And now you're Now you're lying. Now you're lying and misrepresenting it. This is what I mean, Nargis.
Islam, look,
You hang out with these
Islam
people
got
long
rid
enough.
of. Islam got rid
If you
of
hang out with these
the
people long enough,
anthropomorphic.
you start to smell
Islam
like
got
them.
rid of the colorful pageantry. Is it good?
Just
Is
letting
it
you know.
bad? I don't know. I don't care. Both are beautiful. Both are beautiful.
If
But you can't see the beauty.
if you hang out with fleas, eventually you're gonna get fleas.
Both. You can't see the beauty in both because one is
Who says
architecture.
no?
The other one,
no
the other one is Greco-Roman architecture. But you cannot appreciate two views and see the beauty in it.
You want to know something? So, does God sin? Let's use the Quran, right? Does God sin? Does God sin? No, God doesn't sin, right? Did Isa sin? No, he didn't sin. So if God were to incarnate into a man, would he sin? No, he wouldn't sin. So what is the Quran saying, Nargis? That's really simple metaphysics there.
I don't do polemics.
God is
I
not
don't
a
do dark
man.
Dawkins and
God would need to incarnate into that nature,
God is an experience.
right? He's not a man from eternity past. No Christian says this.
One second, I think he
The Quran says that Isa never sinned. Never sinned. Says God would never sin. God is not a man that should lie. Did Isa lie? No, he didn't. So what does the Quran say? What does the Quran say? What are they putting out? I'm not the one contradicting myself here. It's the reason why
Megatron.
we're
Can you hear
the
me?
real Quran only Christians.
Can you hear me, bud?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to, and it really hit home, and it made me think, and I heard something come back to me. And what it was is when you said, if you hang out with people with fleas, you'll get fleas. And I heard, I didn't get fleas. And I'm wondering if you think that Jesus hanging out with lepers gave him leprosy, or if he hung out with people that would give him fleas and if he got.
Was he healing them?
All I know is I heard I didn't get.
So if they hung out with him, they were healed.
Can't get you out of my head.
If they stayed with Jesus, they got healed. Thank you for coming back to me.
I can't get you out of my head.
Oh, it's
Crossing is all I think about.
Oh, my mama, can't you out of my head.
Come on, man.
You're more than I care to think about. Every
Just tell her. Tell her to stop triggering me. I'll stop triggering her.
on my mind.
So they won't get fleas if you don't carry that in your heart. You will see in the world what you carry in your heart. So if you see a man with fleas, right? Don't see the fleas, see the man.
Islam, mama, Islam,
As Zed, he hangs out with me. I'm never rude to him. I show nothing but love to Zed. I show nothing but love to the people I show love to.
That's dead. You see Pulp Fiction.
No, he's right. Yes, he's good. He's good.
Yes. The Quran is the most beautiful expression of human beauty that has ever touched the fucking face of the earth.
Yes.
Yes. Listen to you. There's just nothing else that is beautiful as it.
Your opinion. That's not what 2 billion people in the world hold.
What do they hold?
That there is beauty in it. That there is hope in it. That there is the one. strict monotheistic God in it. That's sorcery.
Strict.
That thing,
It's
that is the only
It's
argument
called
behind all
fanatical.
things.
No,
That
it's
thing,
fanatical
that
monotheism.
doesn't need person strict
The
spirit.
strict
That thing
monotheism.
is isness itself.
Marcus,
Will
you
always
understand the
know about
Nicene
its
Creed?
metaphysics because it's modern.
Do you
Don't
understand? No,
It's
no,
just
dude,
historically modern.
do you understand? Do you understand that the Nicene Creed predates Islam by over 300 years?
Yeah,
And the very
Nicene Creed
first
also
line
very
of
much
it
takes
is we
from
worship.
Plato's triad. Nicene Creed holds the
Stop,
model
stop,
Trinity.
stop,
That
stop,
is
stop.
very much like the Greco-Roman
See?
philosophy.
See what I mean?
Why? What's happening, Mark?
You're that exclusive.
What did
Do
you
you
do?
think you're that exclusive?
She has
Do
to
you
do this
think?
shit.
Do you
She
think?
thinks that
Do you
she thinks
think
Islam
any
produces
religion
true.
grows like a
Yeah.
brain in a
Yeah.
man?
True.
Do you think you're that exclusive?
It's like refined
No,
cocaine.
this God has always been. This
Fish
God has
scale,
always
fish scale.
given the
Always
same
been
freaking
what?
message
It doesn't
over and
evolve.
over again. It just
If your
came to
God
you
can't evolve, then how is it a
differently
God?
through
If your
Jesus.
God
The
can't evolve, then
language
how is it a
has been
God?
different.
If your
The
God can't
geography
evolve,
has
how is
been
it a God?
different. The message has been the same.
Your God
When
is
will
not
you
evolve.
get off
Your
of your
God
has to bring up
hyper
an
self-righteous
God and
Your
high
God
horse?
does not transcend
When
anything.
will you get off of or
You
your
notice, you
self-righteous
notice
high
that I don't
horse
do
and
blasphemy.
agree
Your God cannot
that there
transcend
is
He does
anything.
blasphemy.
If it's just
That's the difference. That is the difference between the apologetics with the both of us.
You
guys do blasphemy.
I love Jesus.
That's the problem.
The difference between you and me
what?
is that Jesus is my
Who
incarnate
does
God,
blasphemy?
the first intellect, the perfect creation.
I was
But
born
you
with a
will
dick,
not grant
and
me.
you try to act like you have a
you
dick.
petty
That's the
human,
difference
you
between
petty,
you and me.
you
Okay, you
petty,
want a dick.
party-going human who has no control over his breath will still judge me and say that I
What?
will not attain salvation unless I accept the particular
But
Jesus
breath
Christ
is just
as
being.
God. You
Breath,
will never
breath is
grant
just being
me
that occurs.
that Jesus is a universe.
Breath is just a being that occurs.
When
Nothing
will you
else.
ever understand that?
And your
Bro,
God
the only
doesn't
reason why
transcend.
Ali is because of Christ. Remember that.
Yes, yes.
Of course. Who's denying that? But you have to keep dude, call it
Now
God.
it's not shit on
Call
Jesus.
it ant. Call it rock. Call it grass. Call it poop.
Your God is no better than rock.
Idiots.
It's just a being
All
that
you
is.
do is attach to identity.
Your
and
God is no
badges
better.
and
Your
pride.
God is no better
When
than
will you
rock.
ever
Marcus.
focus yourself, bro?
Your God is no
Bro,
better
bro,
than rock.
you're not well. Stop. Megatron encourages this because you hate Islam. But this hate is not the answer.
What are you talking about?
Hate is not the
You're
answer,
an-
bro. Hate is called
You're-
anything.
He
It's
never
not
talks
Islam.
about Islam.
You're an ADS God. Your ADS God
He doesn't
is
talk about
not.
Islam.
If I read my
Okay, but
He
your
doesn't talk about
ADS,
Islam.
your ADS God is no better than rock.
She's obsessed. She's obsessed with the Trinity. Man God, man God, man God, man God.
What's wrong with the man God? What's wrong with that? It's ascended.
No,
It's
yeah,
ascended.
what's wrong with
What's
Hussein?
wrong with the man
Nothing
God?
wrong with the man.
What's wrong with
No,
Hussein?
there's
What's
nothing-
wrong with
there's
Ali?
Nothing wrong with the man.
Ascendancy
nothing
is
wrong with that.
called.
What's wrong with the
You know how
12
they
tribes? What's wrong with that?
You know, God
See what I'm
transcended.
saying? Like,
You know, God was not just an energy ball. God was not just an energy ball.
I understand.
God was not just an energy ball.
You do.
But your God is just
He
some sort
is
of
the
energy ball.
perfect.
But your God is just some sort of energy ball. It
Don't
doesn't have
lie
a
on me,
being.
Megatron.
Your God is not
Don't
a
lie on me.
being.
I'm gonna block
I
you.
don't know. I asked
Your God
you
has
to
no
go
being.
down the line of reasoning.
Your
In
God
the
has
Old
no being.
Testament, it says, if God were a man, he would not lie. Did Jesus lie? He did not lie. Okay, so then what are you saying?
And say that I hate
This
Jesus.
is your book.
One more
This is your
time you
book
lie
that
on
says
me.
that.
One
Your
more
book
time you
says
lie
that.
on me and say that I hate Jesus. After putting me in the anti-Semitic bracket in the morning.
So then
One more
why
time
would you
you
say
lie on
man
me,
God?
I'm gonna
Why
block
would you
you
say
forever.
man God? Why would you say man God? You're the one doing blasphemy.
Because he did come in the form of a man and he is God. You just accept it.
So then
It's a
you're
model.
not using it that
It's
way.
a model.
You're not
Don't
using
get
it that way.
attachment to it. How am I using it?
Bro, your God
Listen,
has to
honestly,
ascend though.
Marcus,
How am I
you want me to
using it?
kiss your
How am I
ass?
using it?
Hey,
There's the non-anthropomorphic and there's the
You'll never
anthropomorphic.
know. You'll never know how I really feel.
Hey, look, let's just face the fact. The two of you cannot coexist. Let's not make this any more painful than it has to be. Let's part ways amicably. You two cannot be in the same room without fucking fighting. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
Oh,
Can you
just
please?
talking theology.
Because what's going to happen is Barth is going to trigger Nargis. Nargis is going to run off. And Barth always wins these things, man. He's a fucking assassin.
No, he doesn't.
He's been
He
doing
goes
this
and sulk in a corner.
Nargis, you don't stand a chance against this guy. Stop. He gets to you every time.
So why do we see him sulk in a corner later? Maybe he's winning in this room, but tomorrow he will be in another room sulking, bro.
I don't think either of you are winning.
This is what happens. Women hate the idea of these because because they mentioned it. A man God, they have a problem with that. Well, a woman God couldn't do it because
Neither of them is winning.
Women are the thing. Women, they love separation. They like to cause emotions.
Let's get them votes. Drogo, vote on the poll, please.
I love you, crazy.
Only how Drogo rate himself.
What's the worst one? Aluni volunteers. What's the worst one?
The worst one is nuttier than a squirrel turd.
Yeah, choose that one.